but you are not working with Thir.
No, we're not.
Okay, let's share your document. No, it's not that one. Okay. Chapter 3. Yeah, this one.
I guess that's Colegio Alemán.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Doesn't allow me. Okay, this one, right? No. Jesus. This one.
Perfect. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is this? It's like in a frame. Why? You know?
Yeah. Yes, I do. You uploaded the templates for the graduation projects. Remember a Word file, and what we decided to do was, I mean, to present chapter 3, but using the templates. By
Okay.
using the templates, this is how it ended up. I mean, the final Word file. So what we did was using that templates and cutting out all of the different chapters, just keeping chapter number 3, and somehow that's what happens.
Okay.
But we can fix it.
Yeah. Don't worry. I thought that it because you have an option that I really like, and it's, I don't know if you know about that. It's reference.
Like yes,
And you
yes, and
start
then
adding the bibliography.
okay.
And it gives you
All right.
the style, right?
Beautiful.
So you can start building up the references, right? So whenever you need to quote something, you just add new source so you don't get lost. Get lost, because sometimes you start writing and you have the references, but you don't have them in the document, but in a separate paper or something. And then you just can't find where all the information is, like author, the year, and the pages and stuff. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, this is what I wanted to.
Yes, let's.
Exploring
Would you like me to read it?
and considerations around the use of certain patterns present in English teachers' discourse in the elementary section, seeking to establish a correlation between language and conditioning might bring considerable benefits for all stages. For example, have you included this at the end of the reference list?
No, ma'am. So what should I do there?
Manage. Okay, let me check. Yes, manage resources. No, I think it's insert citation, add new source, and there you can write here everything. Like if it is a book, right? Who is the author? Title, year, city, public, right? It's like the APA style. When you finish, yeah. So you see that here you have this. Yeah. So it means that it is going to give you like this comments 1976, but in here, like already. And at the end, you can just make bibliography, yeah, and it will give you all the things, all the sources that you have already quote or saved in the document.
Yeah,
That's why
fantastic.
I thought that this was because of that.
Alrighty.
You see, bibliography, there are no sources in the current document because I haven't, of course, entered any author or book. But you can just click there and it will include all the reference in the APA.
Fantastic.
If you have here APA, no? Because there's other options.
I haven't checked, but I guess my word has it. So I'll check.
Yeah, it might, because this one is very old, so I guess yours. Okay, like, well, okay. See? And then here you're going to find the information of the book.
Alrighty. Perfect.
Bye. Enjoy. Now I cannot get rid of it. Okay. Of the structure. Okay. Is your school bilingual?
Mine is, and Alejandra's, they have intensive English. We clarify that exactly there.
Can you give me my purse? I think it's clear what you want, or like you explain the importance of how much? Lucas, how much? 20? Better? Okay.
We believe regardless of a bilingual school or of a intensive English program, we believe our students are facing a biliteracy process. And when talking about biliteracy, one of the risks, according to Cummins, is not doing it right. If we don't do it right, they may develop some proficiency in the language, but not strong enough either in first language or second language, and that could somehow have negative effects. Alrighty, that's what he states. So what we believe is if students are going to go through a literacy process, like both in English and Spanish, and at one given point, specifically in first grade, because in first grade, her school and my school, they have consolidated mother tongue, and we're starting to decode and code in second language. So first grade is a key grade level for biliteracy. And if we don't promote not only language but thinking skills, what might happen is that both languages are going to be like low level, and that's what Cummings calls what does he call it? Partial? I'm sorry.
Limited.
Limited bilingual. And truth is,
Proficient, partial, and limited.
Exactly. Truth is, if you work in different bilingual schools, you will notice that some schools, because they want to improve English, they neglect first language, but they don't develop high levels of proficiency in English. So in the end, if you check fifth grade, they haven't not only developed mother tongue but not second language. So that's a problem. So we believe that if we start taking a closer look on discourse analysis and how teachers, by teaching language, are also promoting thinking skills, could avoid this problem. Alejandra, I don't know if you want to add something else.
Yes, yes, the importance of the
Alejandra, I can hear you.
yes.
Can you speak louder, please?
I say that the importance of the discourse in our project um, because not is only the importance that the content, but is important the experience and the activities necessary to acquire the language. And in this case of our project, the importance of the discourse, the teachers.
Mm-hmm. I think that you have to complement more the statement of the problem, right? Why? Because somehow you're describing, uh, well, it says that they should be aware of the influence that language has on thought, and that our discourse understood us, etc., etc. Like, you define what you're going to do, but you don't say the reason why. So you say, when we have a statement of the problem, and I showed you last, well, 2 classes, that it is not just a negative situation. It could be something that cuts your attention, or um, successful experience, right? Something that has a positive income, or a positive, well, yeah, that is working very well, and you want to explore why is it working very well. Or the opposite, something that you consider can be improved, and you want to know how, why, right? I think that that's what is missing here. You say, we find that these courses used by teachers in the English elementary classroom are, yeah, a key aspect. 2, now, try to avoid passive voice as much as possible. We find that, well, teachers' discourses used in elementary classroom are a key aspect to cognitive development, especially for LOTS and HOTS. Our interest is to recognize and reflect upon the discourse, yeah? But you don't say actually why is that your interest. Yes, you are mentioning here like the importance and things like that, but what was the thing that caught your attention to start exploring that? What kind of experiences have you had with the students? Have you noticed something that is not working well, or probably the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
Are the questions, or the experiences that you and your fellow teachers have, telling you something, telling you that you need to take a look at
Mm-hmm.
higher order thinking skills?
Okay.
Or why did you, or how did you discover these higher order thinking skills, right? Is there a project in the school, like for example with CLIL that you mentioned, yeah, that is allowing students to do that? Or you heard about that in, I don't know, in another school, or using a method and you just thought that it could be transferred to pure teachers' discourses, yeah, something that helps the students to think beyond.
Okay.
Okay, that way, when you just expand on this statement of the problem, you can say, you can also expand here in the rational, because I think the first, the paragraphs are great, yeah, but you,
Mm-hmm.
here is where you have to concentrate more. How is this project going to impact directly Newman School and Gimnasia Campestre Los Alpes? right? What are you looking for? What are you're trying to help teachers, or to make teachers aware that their discourses might or might not help students to develop higher order thinking skills? Or what's the benefit for the students as well,
Mhm.
right? And probably, if you look at the context, if you can, I gave you like 3, I guess, different Colombian journals, and you cannot find lots of literature in this topic. One of the good things of the rationale could be that you are going to contribute to the understanding of higher order skills, especially in elementary school, or yeah, in elementary school, or uh, even in, like, in the theory about that. Yeah. So
Mhm.
your project can have like something very important, that is expand theory, right? Something that hasn't been explored in Colombia in our context. Yeah. So I think that if you can expand on the statement of the problem, then you're going to find more reasons to put here in the rational. It's fine, yeah, but it just needs to be clearer.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So we need
Think
we need
about
to
your,
write
yeah, Alejandra.
the personal reason according to our experience and some
Yes, I mean, what is the thing? How? I mean, why higher order skills? Why teachers these courses? Has something happened in the school? Have you noticed something? Have you noticed patterns of this course that are typical to English or language teachers? As we said before, like basic questions such as, what's the name of this animal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what color is this? Right? Like, have you noticed that English or language teachers in general try to focus just on
On
developing
factual
language?
information. Yes.
Exactly. Just on developing language without connecting it with cognition, or without making it more meaningful for the students, right?
Yes, basically, for instance, when teachers use most questions is when they're delivering a reading class, a reading session,
Mm-hmm.
and it happens to be that's the type of questions they're asking. Most of them do not challenge students into thinking a little bit, I mean, beyond the picture of the actual texts. So they are very factual information, what they're looking for, I mean, who's doing what and where are they and what they're doing. So they're not pretty much asking students to read between the lines and to maybe provide creative answers, things like what could be happening here, like those questions.
What
Now,
would you do if? Mm-hmm.
for a first grader, it may sound a little bit too high, but with the right training, with the right amount of inputs and opportunities for students to go there, I believe they could do it.
Yeah, and it is not necessary that the students can, write the answers perfectly,
All
but
right.
they can even just draw. Okay, like in a story, for example. Okay, draw a different end for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would suggest, you just say it, right? We have noticed that some reading questions or language instructions, blah, 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 don't really challenge students, right? And they are just in the level of factual information, yeah, without helping students to go beyond, etc., 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 right?
Okay.
So that would be in the statement of the problem, right? So that gives you more material to work with in the rational, concentrating on
Okay.
the Newman School and the Gimnasio Campestre Los Alpes. Right?
Super.
How is this project going to impact, without saying that we are going to interfere or do action research, but just by being aware that they can go beyond, that teachers can challenge students, it might change, for example, the curriculum, for example, the evaluation, right? For example, concept of bilingualism.
Okay.
Right? Is that clear?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you have literature review. You said that you have found things related to higher order skills, but not teachers' discourses as such. Okay. Try to look for information into databases. Remember, have you checked the university library? Online, of course.
No, we haven't.
Okay, go there. They have
do that.
They have databases in which you can access to international journals. So you might find information about teachers' discourses. Anyway, I think I've seen something in Colombian Applied Linguistics. And if I find anything, I will share it with you, right?
Thank you.
About theoretical framework, right? You need to start thinking about that. What do you consider you need to include?
Well, we have to establish the correlation between language and cognition, right? We have to state that that correlation has a lot to do with the inputs, the type of language and inputs that students receive. And we have to establish that Bloom's taxonomy, I mean, the different levels of thinking are also, or have, because that's a lot of theory about, that there's very specific type of questions that you should be asking for each one of the levels in the Bloom's taxonomy. So it's been somehow studied that what questions relate to which one of the levels in Bloom's taxonomy. And for instance, WH questions, as for factual questions and yes/no questions, should only go for recalling information, for understanding. So that should be something else. Well, discourse analysis as an important tool for classroom management, I guess. Well, not management, but for language development,
Okay, I suggest to look for, there is a theory that is called classroom discourse analysis.
Okay, excellent.
CDA, right? And it is, of course, specific for classroom language.
Perfect.
CDA, that would be the theory that will help you to find those patterns in discourse, right? Probably might be a good idea to look for, well, of course, language and cognition include all the higher order thinking skills, right?
Yes, and yes, ma'am.
Thinking, yes.
Classroom.
Classroom, yes, classroom discourse. Okay.
CDA, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sometimes my memory is not.
CCDA.
Is it CCDA? Critical classroom discourse analysis.
Yes.
Yeah, critical classroom. Yes, that's the one. And maybe if you look for articles in those journals that I gave you with critical classroom discourse analysis, you can find information about that.
Right, okay. All right, fantastic.
And actually, this could be a framework, like theoretical framework, but also your methodology. Okay, so it would be qualitative, critical classroom discourse analysis. Yeah. Because that is, I mean, like, if when you start reading about it, it will give you like some steps to analyze the discourse in classroom. So that is the methodology of the study. So you don't need actually to intervene, like action research, but just analyzing what is going on in the classroom, right? And probably you will have to look for, because you mentioned it in the rationale, no, in the statement of the problem, the thing about bilingualism.
Yes. Well, maybe, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we could not talk about bilingualism by literacy, in the sense of it doesn't matter if we're teaching content-based or as in Gimnasia Campestre, which is only intensive English. It doesn't matter. The point is our students started developing literacy in Spanish, and at one given time and points, they're introduced to literacy in a second language. So maybe we could just forget about talking about bilingualism, but just by literacy.
Okay.
Would it narrow down the actual? Okay.
Yeah. And actually, it can be mentioned.
Oh, by literacy could also come in the theoretical framework.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. By literacy, yeah.
By literacy.
Instead of bilingualism, because you mentioned they're limited, proficient, limited, and there's another one that you mentioned there.
Basic.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm looking for it. I'm sorry.
So yeah.
Proficient. Yes.
Proficient, partial, and
partial. Yes.
Partial. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Once again, the point is sometimes schools, in the attempts to develop biliteracy or bilingualism, they neglect both first language, I mean native modern tongue, and the second language. So yes, they know some English and some Spanish, but biliteracy doesn't occur. So biliteracy is one more concept. Nice.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I think you can start.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank
You're
you,
going
teacher.
to find lots of information about critical classroom discourse analysis, and that will be everything.
Okay? Teacher, so our next task, I mean our next homework, when is due, and what should include?
Well, as I said, like I think last class, the idea is that during this week you can send me the lead review at least, right?
Okay.
Because then you're going to have the second chapter. Wait, please. That would be.
So, what we need to do is we need to go over the statement of the problem. We need to complement it in the sense of adding more the idea that you told us about, and then having that into account, we're going to rewrite the rationale. And we're also going to include the literature review and send it to you by Saturday.
By Saturday, or even you can have the whole weekend. Yeah, like
Monday. And do it on Sunday.
Okay.
Next session is chapter 4, right? And it includes the theoretical framework. That's what, and when you start reading about the lit review, you're going to find probably more or probably less concepts that you want to include.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah? And this theoretical framework is it can be just give me 1 minute, please.
Sure.
It says, yeah, May 26th, the theoretical framework. It's October 14th, it's crazy. Okay, May 26th, theoretical framework. So try to finish lit review during this week.
So should we say for next meeting, which is gonna be Tuesday the 14th, we should have reviewed both statement of the problem, rational, literature review, and the actual concepts that are gonna be included in the theoretical framework, which I haven't.
No, the theoretical framework not yet. Just
All right.
focus on the lit review and the the rational and statement of the problem.
For Tuesday the 14th.
Yes, of course.
Beautiful.
I will take more time reading that because it's going to be longer.
Okay.
Right. So during the next session, what we can discuss is if you have found more information, and we can start discussing when and how are you going to record the classroom interactions.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Great. Beautiful.
So you can start making a plan. What type of instruments and stuff. Okay. Okay, Jairo and Alejandra. Anything else? Any other question? So,
I think Alejandra?
No, not any question.
No? Okay. So we're going to work with the forum, right?
Thank you.
The other task has also a forum, so just send the documents in the forum because I don't know why, but it is bye-bye. It is just allowing groups. I mean, everyone is in the same group, so okay.
Teacher, thank you so very much. All right, have a fantastic night. Okay, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you, Alejandra.
Teacher.
So Juan David and Leonardo.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, good, good. Here, finally being able to connect myself.
Okay, Alejandra, Leonardo, Juan, and Diana Lucia, you are in the same group, right?
Yes, yes.
With
And
Juanita.
Yes, we're with, no, we're with we're Juan David, Sebastian, Diana, and myself.
And what's your topic?
We have the students and teachers' perception of ICTs used in English class and its impact on the speaking skill in the German school in Cali.
Okay, well, I'm going to go over this. Moodle is not allowing to change the setting for the tasks. So I'm going to show you, even if I want, I cannot change it. This is, okay, you were supposed to send the task in this link, right? But you were writing to me, and other groups were writing to me that if you upload it, then the other file just disappears, right? That's why the person who actually handed in your document was Juanita. If I want to change that, it doesn't give me the option. Entrega por grupos, and it is by default yes, right? But if I want to organize the groups, like said, okay, Leonardo, Diana, Juan, and Sebastian are working together, it doesn't allow me either. So I will have to call the university and see if they can change those settings. Or the other thing that we can do is just send the task in the forum. Each unit has a forum.
Okay.
Right? So next task, you can send it just by the forum. Right? It will register anyway the time and day you send it, so there is no problem with that. Okay?
Okay.
Good. I was checking your documents. I'm going to stop sharing this. It's quite long.
Yes, because what happened was that we have some appendixes. We started writing it, but it's long because well, I work in the German school. We have we created something like we're trying to create a concept to modify the concept that we have of use of ticks. So we added as an annex to the document. That's why it makes it longer. That right there is like 55 pages.
Because then I found Spanish as well.
Yeah,
Like,
well, the documents originally in Spanish, the appendix, but ours is well, what we've written so far is in English.
there is a sound.
Oh, the sound! It's my microphone.
It's what?
Yeah, let just laugh. No, the problem is, teacher, I live outside of I live outside of Cali, Hamudi, and I have like 1,000 frogs, and they make that noise. That's why usually my microphone is off.
What is that? It sounds like a creeping swing. How do you say that?
No, I'm gonna show you a picture really fast of the size of the frogs, and they make noise. Diana, stop laughing at my frogs, please.
Yes, teacher, all the classes
This
with
is the frog. Look.
the same
Oh
sound.
my God! I cannot live there. No way, Jose. I'm afraid of frogs.
I'm gonna put my microphone in mute, and you guys tell me when you need to hear me. All right? The teacher's going crazy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Yeah, it's much better. Okay. I haven't finished reading all the document, but I can say that, well, the thing that you have to hand in for today was the statement of the problem, the questions, objectives, and the rationale, right? I think it's complete. So we are going to go over it, and then I'm going to start checking the lead review like by myself on my time. Then I send you the comments, right? Did you find any information or any previous articles in the journals that I gave you? Profile, Colombian Applied Linguistics, and How Journal. Have you checked those links?
I found 2 articles, and I have to be honest, I was checking by Scholar Google, so it's not from the from the links.
Mm-hmm.
Just wrote down the topics. That's all.
Are you sick, Dianita?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to check the lead review afterwards. Yeah, I was checking the objectives and it seemed clearer. You know, what is a student and teacher's perception, or it could be even in no, of the use of ICTs in English class as L2 and its impact on the speaking skill in the German school. Objectives: to identify, to describe a students' and teachers' perceptions of the use of ICTs in English class and its impact. Okay, so to explore teacher beliefs, to identify students' beliefs, to analyze the influence of ICTs and speakers according to teachers and students' perceptions. Okay, according to. Oops. According to teachers and students' perceptions. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to, I don't know if I want this in this part, or is it better to put it in the theoretical framework? What do you think?
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Okay, the statement of the problem should describe your interest in the topic, right? As we said in the first class, identify a problem doesn't mean that it has to be something that is going wrong in our practices, right? It could be something that is really interesting for you, something that you say is being successful, and you want to describe it, and you want to understand how is it working and why is it so successful, right? So the statement of the problem should be focused on that. Describe me why you want to study this. So yes, of course, you can quote authors, right? And here, actually, you have in our context something that I found it very, very, very good. But I don't understand why you have this here, as important as it is, right? ICTs and the speaking skill, according to, no? But it is up to you, right? So, okay, Article 6 of law defines ICT as the set of...
See, the problem is that what we found is that since we have the school that we could do the research, we have some documents, and we wanted to just not write the document, also find the purpose where we help the school, and with the information that we have, that's why we included all this. Just that I feel that instead of doing more, we ended up confusing ourselves a little bit there.
Okay.
But if you guys want, I can send you frogs to Bogota, wherever you guys
No,
are.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
I would probably die.
I don't even hear them anymore, so.
But where exactly in Cali do you live?
Actually, I'm in Hamundi. I'm 10 kilometers from Cali, in the south, but where the universities are, San Buenaventura, ICESI, and all of that.
Why are there so many frogs?
Well, there was a theory that they're spread all over Cali. So if you know, especially if it's quiet, and the theory was that somebody was sick and they brought the frogs supposedly to relax them, and make them feel better. But what happened was that this frog spread all over the city, and now they're a plague.
It's
Can't
like
control them.
if Leonardo were living in, I don't know, La Calera or
Yeah,
Like in the
God,
basically.
jungle.
something like
So
in the
it didn't,
jungle. I don't know.
I didn't say it was the city. I mean, is the city?
Well, I'm outside the city, but for example, to come into the condominium where I'm at from the main road, I'm 5 kilometers in, and there's about we're like 17 condominiums, and we have a supermarket here. We have everything in here. So I'm outside. I love it because I'm outside and I can actually relax myself. But yeah, the frogs sometimes get annoying.
Even with the sound of the frog. Well, um, the questionnaires that you mentioned, of course, are what do you call that? Needs needs analysis, right? They are not going to be taken into account in the analysis of the new data, right? Those questionnaires gave you the idea to start looking at what teachers understood regarding ICTs. Is that clear? So basically what you are saying is, okay, we identify through these questionnaires that some teachers can actually work with this, but as you said here, teachers inform that students are not motivated to speak, or what was the other thing here, that they use a lot their cell phones, tablets, and computers in English classes, right? So through the questionnaires in interviews, I think, or just questionnaires, you could identify that there is a really, let's say, culture of ICTs in the school, right? And both students and teachers are aware of that and they are using it, right? Now, the statement of the problem needs to focus on the necessity of evaluating somehow the impact of those ICTs, especially in speaking, because it hasn't been studied yet, despite it is a policy in the school, right? So you need to include that in the statement of the problem. That is like the main core. We have all of those things, and apparently it's working, right? Apparently, teachers and students are quite literate in using technology, but we don't really know if in our area, English, it is working as it should or as it was expected, right? That's the main thing that you have to mention in the statement of the problem. If you want to leave ICTs and the speaking skill here, well, I would move it to the theoretical framework if I were you, because the statement of the problem has to be absolutely clear. So the reader doesn't distract with theory, but like understanding why you want to study that. Okay? So yes, the thing that says in our context kind of frames what you were saying at the beginning, like how important it is and according to the law, and but in that part, in our context, it frames how is it working in the school and what you found in the questionnaires. Now you need a paragraph or two that said that it is a need, maybe for the school or you as researchers, to know if those ICTs are actually working and what is the student's perception and teacher's perception regarding this. Is it really helping in their learning and teaching processes, or is just something that they have to do because it is included in the curriculum. Okay, so 2 paragraphs saying that it is a need to explore if what teachers think, so you can improve the practices. Okay, and as well it has to be mentioned in the rationale. Great, great, great. Somos un colegio, ta, ta, ta. Yeah, I reviewed this. So look, this is what I am asking you, right? There is no previous research in the German school, blah, blah, blah. I would move this to the statement of the problem because this is actually what is lacking, right? And that's why you want to do this study. So in the rationale, then you can start mentioning the benefits, right, of exploring those things. Who are going to be in, the directly or indirectly impact by your research? How can you contribute to the understanding of ICTs, to improve the practices on ICTs, and even to modify curriculum or to contribute to literature, right, to theory? We have found this and now we want to explore this, and this is the concept of ICTs for the German school. Okay.
So moving to the problem statement.
Yes, to the statement of the problem. Yeah, this is what you are lacking. A serious study about the impact of the ICTs, right, or the perception of students and teachers about the ICTs, right? Now the rationale could be, well, all of these things are absolutely clear. How you expect it to contribute to the teaching and learning practices. Okay, so basically it is complete, but you just need to change the order of some things and complement. Okay, and then I'm going to check the lead review like probably tomorrow, and I will send it in the morning, like at 10. Okay. So, did you find Universidad Nacional de Manizales? Okay, so this is our Colombian context. Have you decided a group of teachers and students you are going to have as population for this study? Is it going to be in elementary, in high school?
Well, since I teach in high school, that was probably the easiest. And since we're closing school year, depending on the group, the 11th grade, I continue with them in 12th grade. So that was, we haven't really discussed it, but that was the focus population. And there's 3 11th grades, but there's also 3 different teachers. So we can get that part could help us because we can get the perception from 3 different teachers that we all use ICTs differently. So that could
in
help
different grades of high school.
Yes, the same grade, same age, 11, but there will be 11A, 11B, and 11C.
Same grade. Like
Yeah,
10th
but
grade.
then, yes, but then we had also had thought about talked about like one that we just put there, getting 3 or 4 students from different groups. The problem is that in Colegio Alemán they only get English from 5th to 12th grade.
Sorry, I couldn't catch that. The German school what?
They only learn English from 5th grade to 12th grade. They don't see English since kindergarten. So that's something that we're still defining basically.
Why is it German school? Do they study German?
Yes, they study German since they're in nursery.
Ah, so that's the core, right? So it would be like the second tongue German and then foreign language English,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Did you speak German, Leonardo?
I have an A1, the basic. And I try. I actually like it, but it's hard. It's very complicated.
Okay, so you're going to choose just 10 grader teachers and students.
What we have with that part, we're still deciding on. What would be better? What do you think? To select students from other groups, or to focus on one population because of the age?
According to your experience, which students have had the highest exposure to ICTs?
All of them.
All of them?
My daughter's in 3rd grade, and they receive computers class since they're in 2nd grade, an hour a week, and now she just got her email. So she's using Office 365. So at 9 years old, so they get exposed.
Because you can have actually a bigger sample, you know,
Okay.
at least 5 teachers and students from different grades as well.
Okay. We're only 5 English teachers there, so that would be.
Sorry?
We're only 5 English teachers there at the
You
school.
see? Yeah, you can have the 5 if they want to participate, no? Because it's not mandatory.
No, I'll force them.
You have the power to force them?
Well, I'm blessed because they're all women. They're 4 women, so I'll ask them nicely.
The king.
Right. So yeah, it's better if you were with all of them. So also, because I've seen here university students and elementary. I don't know if you have something in, look, Apply Linguistic Journal.
The
This
number
is-
7 is a research from Savannah.
But in the school or in the university?
Well, in general.
So this is from Colombian Applied Linguistics Journal. So it worked. Just that you're looking for just Google and it appears, but if you go directly to the source, it's better. At German school. Okay. Good. Have you thought about the things that you're going to include, the concepts that you're going to include in the theoretical framework?
Well, actually, today we were talking about the framework, include the topics. Well, we were making suggestions about how to start to write about framework, ICT definition, classification, ICTs in Colombia, governmental perspective, etc.
Yeah, that's a question for you, teacher. Do we define the ICTs as defined by the Colombian government or the internet, or has the world has the perception? or like an international definition?
International definition and local, because
Okay.
even though the government has a definition, I would say that in the German school, it I would say it's much better because you do have the resources, whereas most of public schools don't.
Okay.
Right? So maybe sometimes the government is quite, how do you say, greedy, in the sense that,
Stingy.
yeah, they they are asking too much, but not giving them too much. Yeah, you need to include ICTs. Okay, we need connectivity, right? And good connectivity. We need computers for the students, for each one of them. So sometimes they don't have the resources, but they are being, you know. But in
Expected.
private school doesn't happen, right? And as I have said, as you have said in the document, the German school has its own culture, let's say, about ICTs, and it is mandatory to include it, and apparently it works. Yeah, so we need to study what teachers and students said about that.
Okay.
Okay, good. Questions? I'm going to send this tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Everything checked. Okay.
The comment?
Yes. Well, of course, the comments of the statement and the rationale, they are clear. I'm going to review the lead review, and I'll send it. Okay.
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 Okay. So now I'm going to work with Carlos, Andres.
All right, teacher. Thanks. I'll send
Thank
you
you,
some
teacher.
frogs. I'll send you guys some frogs next week.
Say hello to your folks again.
Say hello to the frogs.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Carlos, have you sent the document?
Yes, teacher. I think that one of my classmates did it. I think that was Diana. Okay. Okay. So, was it you, Diana, the person who was in charge to send the document? Oh, was Juanita? Let me see what happened with her.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what happened. Okay?
Okay.
I'm showing you the Moodle, right? Moodle platform. Can you see it?
Yes, teacher, I can see.
Okay, great. So if I click here and I want to look for the documents, there is only one, right? And according to this, it was Juanita who sent it, but it is this document that I don't think is yours, because this is the document that we have just checked with the other group.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to show you what happened.
Okay.
Editar ajustes. And as default, Moodle has this configuración de entrega por grupo. And I cannot change this.
Okay.
Entrega por grupo, sí. Ok. Se requiere formar parte de un grupo. You can change sí or no, and it doesn't matter. But if I want to make the groups, it doesn't allow me.
Okay.
So basically, all students are in one group. So whenever someone sends a document, the other document, so probably you send the document and then the other group upload another one and the previous one just disappears.
Oh, okay.
So what we are going to do from now on while I'll call the university and said if they see if they can change that option, because it's not allowing me it is not allowing me to do so. It's uploading in the forum.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so can you do that so I can download the document, please?
Of course, teacher. Let me do it right now. Just give me a second. Teacher, sorry, which file do you want me to post it?
Chapter 3 forum in the same unit.
Chapter 3 file, okay.
Unit 3. Chapter 3, it's called.
Chapter 3 file. Okay, chapter. Okay, so you need to. Probation. Okay, now I'm gonna upload it. Okay, teacher. There you go.
Ready?
Yes, let me finish this. Sorry, I thought I was sent, but now I think I did it. Okay.
Project.
Profe, buenas noches, ¿me escucha?
Sí, Dianita.
Ay, qué bueno, profe. Es que yo no sé por qué este internet está tan lento. Profe, necesitamos tu ayuda a gritos SOS.
¿Qué pasó?
No, para que nos indiques lo que tuviste más o menos.
Bueno, hasta ahora lo voy a ver porque como le comentaba a Carlos, se borró el documento anterior.
Ah, bueno, profe. Pero sí, profe, muchas gracias por todos los consejos que nos has dado. Nos han caído como anillo al dedo.
Qué bueno. Bueno, ¿dónde está el statement of the problem? Eso nos falta súper, súper, súper importante. Voy a ponerles acá, ¿ok?
Profe, sí.
Ay,
¿Vamos a estar hasta el final del proyecto?
sí, señora.
Ay, qué rico.
Qué bueno.
Si todos, si Dios quiere, ¿no? Statement of the problem. So,
Okay, teacher.
what you need to write in here, right?
Okay.
Is what was the thing that caught your attention focus on this topic. Probably it wasn't really a problem, right? But because we said before, research is not just about identifying something negative, right? But it's also exploring something that attracts you, such as working with little kids and how they socialize and what is the role of games when they learn how to behave, right?
Okay, teacher.
Or it could be something that it's already been working excellent in the school and you just want to describe the successful experience and tell the world why is it successful in your context.
Okay.
Okay, so what was the thing that caught your attention? Is it because it interests you, or is it because you have seen something in the interaction and children's interaction that really attracts you?
The social aspect of a teacher, basically, like you were telling us from the beginning that they are too little for us to think about things that can help with the learning. So maybe to focus a little more on the social environment. When we work on the social environment on the toddlers or little kids, that is like setting good basis, good foundation. When they start going to a bilingual school or when they start learning another language, they already will have basis.
Okay.
So we just focus on the environment.
Yes, the environment. Yes, it's true. Yes, teacher, because sometimes we see that toddlers, yes, or maybe everybody who's learning a language, maybe a person who learns a language doesn't know how to apply, yes, all this knowledge, maybe on a cultural setting, on a different kind of English setting. So maybe they can learn, yes, at a school, but they don't know how to use, it. Sorry, and this is the point. Yeah, this is the problem that we have, and how to try. Yes, using this kind of games to apply a second language, yes, but in their own environment, yes, in about the culture, about everything that they had to express, because it's not just to learn the language, it's to socialize, yes, it's to talk to other person, yes, and know everything about then about the culture, about many things, about many.
Okay, so language, the problem could start by mentioning that language teachers, especially English teachers, right, are so concerned about learning development that they usually forget little children go to kindergarten to socialize and interact with others, right? Children seem to be more, what was the word that you use? Receptive to games or to play, or when they play, and games give them rules to follow, right?
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example,
so maybe,
it is not my turn, it's your turn, and I need to respect that. And that's how we start socializing and respecting each other. But there is a lack of cultural awareness. Yeah. In the sense, these are just ideas, no? You have to structure well the paragraph, right? And include examples if you have from experiences that you have lived in the school, right? There is lack of cultural awareness in the sense that the first attempts to teach a foreign language, any, right? French, German, Italian, whatever. The first attempt to teach a foreign language is to focus on isolated vocabulary, right? And if it is true that students need to have bases, as Diana said, right? Like when they enter the elementary school, they already know some vocabulary about English. That is not our main focus, right? Teachers are so concentrated on students to learn isolated vocabulary that they forget that language is also culture, right? So
That's right.
you want the students to be aware that there are different ways, for example, different ways of greeting and saying goodbye. Right? And it includes a cultural component. It is not only to say hi and konnichiwa, but also it works or it's accompanied by movements.
But gestures.
I cannot touch a Japanese person if I don't know them.
Yes, that's
right?
true.
In Colombia, we are we're too friendly.
Really, yeah,
Even
that's
if
true.
we don't know anyone, hola, mwah, besito. No. In Japan, you can't do that, right? So
Yeah,
it
true.
would be great, for example, if through games, and that can be an activity, you teach them to behave in different cultures. Ok, hoy nos vamos a saludar como franceses. Bonjour. Hoy nos vamos a saludar como japoneses. Konnichiwa. Right? And it goes accompanied by a game.
Okay.
Sorry,
Good.
teacher, what is at the end? I did, and it
That-
goes what?
Accompanied by games. Right?
Ah, okay.
Like, okay, little hats, for example. Oh, you're a Japanese now. Sombrerito japonés. How do you say hello in Japanese?
Okay.
Right? I don't know, una banderita de Estados Unidos, qué sé yo. How do you say hello in English? Right?
Teacher is basically giving them foundations, right? So
Yes.
it's not only like learning the most important aspect or grammar. They're not learning the linguistic aspect, but they're learning basics and the cultural aspects, right?
Exactly. It can also work with food.
Yeah. Yes, because yes, in French, for example, they eat a lot of raw fish. It's very difficult. Yes, even for us that we are used to, I don't know, hamburgers or frijolitos. To
In
eat this
India,
kind of...
the people don't eat meat, most of them.
Okay.
Why? Okay, because cows are sacred, right? So they know that there is another world outside and that it is very different from the world we live. We said, once again, we are not going to focus on language. I mean, it doesn't have only to be English words. It can be other languages, of course.
Yes, even with vocabulary, teacher, because
Exactly.
sometimes, for example, when I went to Mexico, you cannot say me voy a poner la chaqueta because it means
Another
something.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O me voy a picar. Yes, there are many different things that we can use. Yes, I think to explain to children. Yes, the different vocabulary, behaviors, in many ways of saying hello.
Exactly. So look, even though you are working in vocabulary, it is not isolated as just saying, this is a pen, this is a cow, hello, goodbye. good morning, good afternoon. You see?
No, I think a great field, yes, that we can work, Diana, because we can work on, for example, clothes, yes, because all cultures have different kind of clothes, maybe food, behaviors, religion. Uh, Even we can talk even about economy, yes, because maybe children will like to know, yes, okay, why this country is like this? Oh no, thank you, teacher.
Many, many things.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
so this,
when
yes,
we do
Diana.
our thing, we don't necessarily have to say like learning English. We can say learning languages, right?
Exactly.
Languages.
Exactly. That's why here I have language teachers in general, not English teachers. You see, language teachers are so concerned about learning development, language development, not learning, that they usually forget little children go to kindergarten to socialize and interact with others. That is the core of the statement. Then you can mention how through games students start learning and socializing and interacting. But you have identified that there is a lack of cultural awareness in the sense that in any language, students are concentrated on teaching isolated vocabulary without meaning in a cultural world. And that's what you want to explore, right? That is why it is important to include the cultural component, right?
Lovely, teacher. Thank you.
Because then you have the rationale. How is it going to help teachers in general, right? Especially teachers in the school, you are going to apply this, and you as future teachers. Could it impact the curriculum? Probably. Could it impact the way you teach, even if it is not just in kindergarten, but say that you have an opportunity to work in a language institute? Yeah. Are you going to work on isolated vocabulary, or can you include the cultural component at all levels? Right? So the idea is try to work on the statement of the problem, and if you have more ideas, of course you can include it, right? And then in the rationale, what you have to do is say why is it important and how you think it is going to impact in a good or bad way, I hope good way, your own context in the school and yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, teacher. Okay.
Right?
So, teacher, you mentioned something very, very interesting like 2 minutes ago. You said to focus on the cultural aspect. So basically, we can think like why people in a specific country dress that way, why do they eat what they eat, why do they behave that way. Just focus on the culture more.
The thing is that when you focus on the culture, you're focusing on the language. Culture doesn't exist if it is not because of language, and language doesn't exist if it is not because of culture. They are connected. They cannot be separated. And that's what we as English teachers sometimes forget about the cultural aspect and just focus on the linguistic one.
Right.
Right? So you're saying why they dress like that? Anyway, you have to include language, because how are you going to express falda, sombrero, I don't know, kimono, if it is not using words, right? So they will have to learn vocabulary in English, but connected to being aware that we are not, I mean, that we Colombians are not the only people in the world. And because at that stage, they might think it is like that everybody is the same, right? But they can find people in China that dresses differently, or in Japan, or in India, right? Or in the Amazon, yeah, even in Colombia.
Even I think that we're gonna like create a need, yes, for children to experiment and to know different countries or to know different. So mm, they're gonna go uh, for many things, yes, and we are gonna start creating, yes, like dreams. Because when you give a child the opportunity to know something from other culture, you start like creating a dream, yes, like transmitting a dream of that
Mhm.
in the guy. Yeah, so I
Exactly.
think
They're
that's,
going to be explorers of the world.
yeah.
They're going to
Oof.
see beyond things.
New things, yes, even for example in many different countries, from Antillas Holandesas, they have this kind of culture. Even for example they try to play role games, okay, and that's the way that they try that the student is immersed, yes, in the language, yes, like to create and to know everything that has to do with the country. And that's the reason that this kind of children
Mhm.
know 5, 6 languages at an early age. So it's incredible. Yeah.
Here in the rational, you are mentioning a lot the social skills, right? So I encourage you to mention the cultural aspect.
Okay.
Cultural. That's the our word, cultural aspect. Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
No,
Oh,
teacher.
teacher.
When we
No,
start, I think we will have many questions, but it's okay for now.
Have you checked?
no.
Have you checked the journals that I posted the links to see if there are studies about that?
I have checked some, teacher, but I will actually want to check one by one. I
Okay,
haven't found any,
because next
but
week I need you to give me this complete statement of the problem, objectives, well, um, statement of the problem, question, objectives, rational, and the literature review.
teacher, when is the deadline for this?
Next week, Tuesday.
In a week's time, okay.
Okay. Check at least 6 or 7 different articles.
Can we quote them also?
Have you checked the graduation document?
No, no yet, teacher, no.
Okay, I'm going to
So
show
can
you.
we quote, for example, if we read something in one of your journals that appeals to us or is to do with the topic, can we quote from them, literally?
What you need to do is the following. I'm going to show you in a few minutes.
Okay.
It has the document that you're going to find in the platform in Moodle has this structure, right? Table, for example, this is article 8, right? So RAE means resumen analítico de educación, educacional. RAE quiere decir, de hecho, cuando ustedes terminen su tesis van a tener que hacer un RAE, que es la descripción en español de qué se trata su proyecto, ¿listo? Entonces ustedes ponen RAE número 1, por ejemplo, y ¿cómo se llama esto? El título del artículo. Entonces, por ejemplo, este artículo se llama Use of ICTs in Colombian Education. ¿Listo? Year. Van a poner el año en el que ese documento fue escrito. La bibliografía, de acuerdo a las normas APA. ¿Listo? Así se
Perfecto.
llama, lo encuentran, ¿qué tipo de documento es? Es un research article, es un libro, es un método, ¿listo? La descripción de ese proyecto, ¿listo? En dónde se hizo, qué incluía, cuál fue la metodología, aquí les falta eso. Conclusiones y cómo contribuye ese artículo a su proyecto. Eso es lo que ustedes tienen que hacer con el Lead Review. Este es el Lead Review, básicamente. ¿Listo? Entonces hacen una introducción de Literature Review, hemos revisado tales y tales documentos, este capítulo trata sobre esto, y así empieza. Tabla 1, RAE 1, el nombre, la referencia, el tipo, el año, la descripción y las conclusiones del proyecto o del artículo que leyeron y la contribución a su propio, trabajo.
Perfecto, ya te entiendo, profe. Sí lo podemos.
Eso
Vale.
está en la plataforma de Moodle, ahí encuentran, creo que está en presentación, el documento, cómo deben irlo haciendo.
Okay, teacher.
¿Listo?
Profe, muchas gracias. Thank you very much for your help. We are going to do a lot of research.
Anything that you need, just let me know. You can write to my WhatsApp, okay?
Lovely. Thank you very much, teacher Jimena.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
What we do is to research and come back to you with more questions.
Okay, I'm going to send this document to the forum, okay?
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much for your help.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, teacher. Bye.
Thank you.